as we can see, winter is not giving up easy. It's the 12th of May and we have gotten snow in yeah, we have gotten a lot of snow, so just take a look. So as we can see in front of this garage, there is a lot of snow, and yeah, here is the Terex with the tilt rotator, the little Kubota. It has been rented out and I just parked it here because it was nice weather. Tractor is parked for summer was the plan, but who knows with all this snow. Snowmobiles, sadly can't use them any because the government has closed over tracks for going with snowmobiles and stuff like that, so yeah, not much fun. But yeah, plan today is to take the blue Yanmar tracked mini dumper and take it into the garage and yeah, do some maintenance on that, get it ready for work. Hopefully I can start the excavation season soon. Yeah, it doesn't look like it today, but who knows. So first of all, I need to take the Hinova mini dumper out of it, and or first of all, we need to see if it will fire up. It's pretty cold out, so who knows. And when we get start on it, need to drive it out, then I can lift this tilting bucket for the Terex out, and then it's my rigging here for lifting the tracked mini dumper out. And actually the only machine that can lift the tracked mini dumper, the Hinova, out is the tractor. Nothing else will lift it, so yeah. Then we need to fire that also up, and that means we have to move everything because the little Kubota is in the way of it. But the little Kubota we can drive in here, the Terex we can drive in here, and yeah, probably the Bobcat also back in there, so that will just be great. And sorry for the flickering light, it's my LED is in here, they are not camera friendly. The weather is awesome. Look at this, 12th of May, and this is what we got. Just be happy you ain't living here. This is just terrible. Take a look, 12th of May. It's lovely. So I then done a little bit thinking. Instead of firing up the tractor, maneuvering it out of here, pulling the bucket off and everything, I think I will find another way to get the red tracked mini dumper off. I don't know quite how now, but I'm thinking about maybe drive it into the snowbank and just drive the red mini dumper off, or for example just take the ramps from the trailer and use them to drive it down from there, something like that. But the weather is not cooperating right now. It is terrible. So the tracked mini dumper, the Yanmar, is in, and hopefully this was the last time we are hearing that diesel engine run, because the engine is getting out of there. I don't like it. It smokes a lot, it's noisy, and the performance is it's around 9 horsepower, so it's not much. There is a 1-cylinder diesel engine in here, and it's probably been there since it was new. It doesn't have that many hours, 1898 hours on it. But my compactor, with the diesel engine, it also has the same engine in it, and that one also smokes, so I guess that's probably just something these diesel engines with 1 cylinder does. They smoke a lot. And yeah, we are throwing in a knockoff Honda copy engine, 13 horsepower. I actually had it in the other tracked mini dumper, and I just pulled it out of there and renovated it and put a new one in there last year or the year before, I don't remember exactly. So that one is freshly fixed up, new piston rings and everything like that, so it should be ready to run. And I think it will fit straight down here, some modifications or something like that. So for this tracked mini dumper, the Yanmar, the plan is to change the engine out with a gasoline engine. We have to tighten up these levers. They are the brakes for the tracks, and we also need to change out, yeah, this one. You I don't know if you see it, but there's oil here, so probably the seal here is torn or broken or something like that, that were worn out, so we need to change that also. So that is the plan with the Yanmar mini dumper. Right now we are just starting to pull everything apart and get down to the engine and everything and see how we will remove everything. So it's luckily easy to work on, but I just removed the exhaust and I just released the tensioner for the belts, so you can see the belts are loose. And doing that I noticed that the engine was really loose also, but what could that be? Well, I don't think the engine has been secured in a while. It's just beyond me that it's actually working like this, that it's able to keep the tension on the tracks and or on the belts and everything. So I wonder how far out in the season I would have come before I noticed that the engine was loose like this. Yeah, well, no, it's just making the job removing it a lot easier. So let's just continue cracking on, and then we will hook the winch onto it and just pull it straight up. Quick. It didn't take long, but then again it wasn't secured neither, so I can see 2 bolts left on there, but that's it. is out. Here is the engine bay, and this steering brake isn't working that good, but if we take a look up here, you can see there is a lot of slack there because the bolt isn't tight anymore. So we need to tighten that, and then we can adjust on these here just to make them extra tight, so we don't need to do this again soon, because it's a lot easier doing it now with the engine out. And after that, it's actually just figuring out where we are securing the gasoline engine here, hooking up the battery. So let's just start with the brakes and tune them in so they will work perfectly, and afterwards we can start and look at the engine, how to secure it. That will be just drilling through this plate here and just clean up a little bit since we first have it out, so that's probably a good thing to do. And I also would like to see where I do fill oil in this unit, because of the gasket, that the seal that is leaking, there is probably some oil that have leaked out, so that's also something to do. Okay, so I got my thread set out and found out what fits. You can see this one was pretty ruined, and this is the joint from the track brake, so I need to refreshen this before we can put it back together with a locking nut and some Loctite so it doesn't happen again. But I need a 12mm to hold this, so we need to rig this in here so I can hold, let's see, this. Try something like that, then I can hold this with my hand and then thread this on. So let's just get it started the right way. Whew. After a lot forward, backwards, I finally found something, and this is what I have the nuts for, so this is what it's getting. I don't think it's the right one, but we are threading. So a locking nut and some Loctite, and I hope this will hold, because it's a pain in the ass getting to this when the engine is in there. I don't know now with the new engine, but with the old one it was terrible. Okay, I think we are at the end. So let's see what we made. I think I used more time making these threads than taking the engine out. Alright, that looks pretty good actually. Check it out. Not bad at all. See? Right on. Perfect. There the two engines are. I got the wheel off finally. I used this one, just tighten it up, put strips around here, just to a zip tie, just to hold it together while pulling it off. So that worked great. And getting it off, I could measure this shaft, and this is the petrol engine that we are putting in, and the shaft on this one is exactly the same. So that is just perfect. Maybe a little bit longer as it looks, but same diameter, and yeah, this one fits straight on there, so that is just perfect. So then the other question is, that's how about the alignment on the plate? You have to test fit this one, mark off where we need the holes for the engine mounts, and then we can drill them, and yeah, then it's just installing the engine. I am missing the air filter box, so I need to see if I have it or if I need to order it. But else, everything is almost ready for putting the new engine in. So I think we will try and test fit this one, and then test fit the engine and see how it fits inside there. Okay, before we do that, the first thing I see actually now that can be a problem is the exhaust. The exhaust is actually going straight into the driver. So you can see the outlet is here, and with the shaft there, that will be pointing this way. So that might be a little bit problematic. Also, I think this engine is building a lot more from the shaft and this way, so that will also be a little bit interesting to see how we will make it fit, if we need new drive belts or if we can make do what we got. So yeah, I will just finish off this one, and then we'll drop it in and see how it fits. Alright, the first test fit. Now it's just a few millimeters from this bar here that the handles, the brakes are connected to, so it can't go any further back. And we are still, you can see here me tightening it, it's still, we are not far enough back for the belts, but I think that's no problem getting new ones. And yeah, then it's the other problem, that's the exhaust. So you can see the exhaust is out here and the belts are here. So I will remove the gas tank. I don't need the gas tank because we have the tank that is for the tracked mini dumper, so that's no problem. So I can build the exhaust up and over and down and out or something like that. This is of course cast iron, so it's not all that easy to weld to, but I probably need to make something out of this and this part, connect some pipes to that. But okay, this switch is not as easy as I thought. I thought it was just throwing it in, but I hadn't looked on that engine and this engine, and yeah, as you can see. So I need to think and figure out something smart here, what we can do. Okay, I will have a beer and think about it. Been fiddling around with this engine now for half an hour or something like that, and I took the exhaust off the muffler off and just put the outlet here just to see how far back I can go then. So then this is how far back I could go with the exhaust, and from this I could make some kind of adapter and route it up this way. The tank will be away then. And then the other problem is this side with the carburetor. You can see it's pretty close here. I won't be able to use the original one, so I need to order an adapter plate from eBay, and that will build out here, and then I can go with a 90 and probably just go in the original air filter box back there. So that's a good possibility. And I would need some longer belts also, but else than that it shouldn't be any big problems. And yeah, I don't know, it's possible, but I need some parts, I need some welding and some exhaust parts and everything, so I don't have all that now. So I will give this one a engine clean, change the oil and just put it back in, and then this will be a project for some other time. I will order whatever I see I need right now, so I will have it in stock, and then when I get the time and get the when I get the time, I can just flip the engines around. I could probably start building the exhaust and everything now when I have some time, just go with a 90 from there forward and maybe use the muffler here or something like that. So that's always a possibility, but for now it will be this one back in again. So yeah, it's too bad. I don't like that engine. It's noisy and it smokes a lot, and yeah, it's not fun. So I guess it will be a little bit better when it's secured to the chassis. So we'll see. That was funny. I pulled the engine plate off just so I could change out the bolts that was sticking here and everything, and yeah, look at that. Even the engine mounts was loose. no nuts holding this whatsoever underneath, and these ones are broken. You can see they have broken off from their mounts down there, so I need some new ones in the back, but it gets worse, but it's okay. I'm liking the fact that I now can fix everything and make it better. Probably securing the engine will probably make it better, not smokeless, but not as bad as it, not good for anything. So okay, I see I forgot to start the camera, but I just pulled off the nut for this drive wheel, and yeah, the old Ryobi managed to do it, so that was nice. I have released the tension from the track, just releasing this one, and now the track is loose. So let's see if we can get it off without any engine power. So I'll just put it up in the air and then we can see what we can do. Off went pretty okay. Let's see about on later. And now it's just pouring oil out there. So since the oil is just pouring out of there now, I'm guessing this seal is really bad. And then again, nice. It's actually just an O-ring. That's just amazing. See that? See? There's just an O-ring there. That makes me happy. That should be easy to replace. And look at the teeth here, little to none wear. So that's also great. Nice and tight, no slack, so shouldn't be any problems here. Got the first coat of primer on. I will just use one coat of primer, and this is just a quick paint job, painting what I can't reach when the engine is in. So since everything is apart, it's just much easier doing it now. I'm draining oil out. You can see I have lowered the mini dumper a little bit, so draining a little bit of the oil out so it's easier to install everything there. And the engine and the engine mounting plate is prepped and sprayed in with degreaser, and is now just cooking the degreaser a little bit, or what you should say, let it work, and then I will pressure wash it off afterwards. Since everything is apart, it's just much easier doing it. And it's the 17th of May today, and it's snowing, and we have raised over Norwegian flags since it's the Constitution Day. Alright, so I have been cleaning everything here, and I found out that here is also a seal in here. So this is the same kind of seal that is in the axle. So it goes like this one is rubbing against this one like this, and then this sits in this one like this, and this is in the axle, and this is in the wheel, and it is like this. And I also found a new O-ring, don't know if it's worn out but you can see there's a little bit of a difference in size, but this will fit pretty nice inside this groove. I also use this one just to clean up the groove a little bit in here, just scraping away some surface rust and stuff like that. So there was a bit of rust in here from the side outside, so you can see say in the track that is pointing down here, it was a little bit of rust, so I just scraped everything away and cleaned it with compressed air. So now it's ready for installing this O-ring. I tried to get the track back on, but it's too much work when you don't have the drive and the possibility to drive it around, so then you have to tighten everything up, and yeah, I don't bother doing it. So I think we just go ahead and drop the engine in. I think the paint is dry. Yep, the paint is dry and the engine is washed off. Nice and clean. It was a big difference on the engine, so all this was covered in grease and everything, so now it's pretty clean and nice here, so that's awesome. And the same with the plate for the engine. So now it's just find some new bolts and the engine mounts. And about the engine mounts, let's see. Kompis. Yeah, Kompis also is dressed up today for the Constitution Day, so. But we are still in the garage because of the COVID-19. There are no big people gatherings, stuff like that. So these engine mounts was actually okay from the original ones, but I was missing one nut and I couldn't find anyone that did fit, so I can't use them. So then I'm using these two small ones and these two big ones, but as we can see the height is a little bit different here, so I will put these two in the back and these two in the front, so the engine will tilt a little bit down, but that just make the changing of oil and everything like that a lot easier. So that's the plan. So now it's just installing this and throw the plate back in. Ready to go in again. As you can see, the bolts that are in the back of the engine plate, they're a little bit difficult to reach, but I think I can manage from somewhere around. And it's nice not to need to lift it in. Alright, there is a little bit forward, and then there are backwards, and then it's forward again. And I'm pretty sure this plate and the engine is supposed to be mounted together before you lower it into the engine bay. So I will now pull everything apart again, the bolts for the engine mounts, and then we will lift the engine up, secure it to the plate in a real way, and then put it back in and do everything. It is possible doing it well the way I tried, but it's so much work that I don't want to do it that way. So the winch decided to die. It wasn't old, so nah. And that was just in the moment when I needed to lift the whole engine up, so that's not possible anymore. But ratchet strap down there. Now I hopefully have enough room to just get the nuts in and everything and secure everything. The front I can reach when the engine is in place, but the one in the back wasn't possible, so hopefully I now have enough room to reach everything. Yeah, now you can see I have access to the bolt holes and everything, so that's a lot better. But there is not enough room for me and the camera and everything, so I will secure everything now and get back to you when everything is secured and done. Alright, there it is, engine is in again. Now it's just reverse doing everything I did when I took it off, so I will get back to you when I have everything in place and we are ready to fire up and get the track on. And yeah, we need also to fill oil in the gearbox, so that we will do also. But first there's a lot of wires that need to be put back in place. Most of it is back together. I have done the wiring again and spliced in what I cut off, and yeah, everything seems to be working. And put the cover back on, fuel tank back. You can see it's making a sound. We have the lights and we have the working lights. See them flashing. So yeah, everything is back working. Let's see if we can fire it up for the first time. Let's see. Alright, that worked. Track is back on. Now it's just tightening it again and then filling the gearbox with oil. I located the filling screw, or the filling level screw, and it's on the side, so it's no problem getting into with the tracks on and everything. I have greased up all the rollers on this side, so I also need to grease up all the rollers on the other side. But let the smoke clear out first. Just like that, perfect. Nice and tension on it, so then it's ready for letting it down and fill some oil, and that will be a little bit exciting because then we can see if it is still leaking here or if it's dry. So I don't have a manual for this tracked mini dumper, but as you can see when I pull this one off, this is definitely the filler cap, and I'm guessing the level is up to here. I can see a sprocket in there, so I'm guessing that, yeah, that will probably be right, because then you are at this level and this sprocket is also getting oil and everything. So we will fill it up to this level, and yeah, then we can see if it's leaking or anything. So I will go and get a funnel and a little bit of stuff so we can start filling. So it's full, you can see it's dripping down there and the level is correct here, so that's really nice. And there, then the gearbox is full again with gear oil, and yeah, everything is ready. I will do the oil change still, but if you wonder how that's done on this one-cylinder diesel engine, you can check out my last video on servicing this one, when I did the rollers and everything. So I don't bother filming that again. I also fixed the seat. You could see earlier that this was hanging out, and just put everything on place, and I put some glue here just for good measures. So then I will just do the oil change and we can drive it out of here. Oh well, that didn't go as expected. The throttle was hanging up, so I have to figure out something there, but the quickest way was just to get it out of the garage, or if not I wouldn't be able to do anything in there with all the smoke. So now we have to figure out why the throttle is sticking. So it works again. I just lubricated everything a little bit, but you can hear it's over revving a little bit, so we need to turn down the throttle a few revolutions, I think. Here we can see how amazing these small tracked mini dumpers are. They go about anywhere.